of Information and National Orientation. Now, joining me to talk more around this is the National President, Petroleum Products Retail Owners Association of Nigeria, PETROAN, Dr. Gillis-Harry. He joins me live from our Abuja studios. Good afternoon. It's good to have you join the program.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Business Nigeria and TVC. Good afternoon, Nigeria, and thank you for having us here.
Great. I think my first question would be an overview of this policy in your thoughts. Nigeria first. That is where the president is headed. How does it come to you before we now start to get some specifics around how feasible this will be moving forward?
In my capacity as the Chairman Board of Trustee of the Coalition of South-South Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, COSIMA, me and my team endorse the Nigeria First policy, and we are so very proud that this is happening in Nigeria. In my capacity as National President of the Petroleum Product Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria, we are so excited that we want to shout, "Yoo-hoo! Nigeria is going to get it right." We want to congratulate the President and his team for this very laudable initiative to make this policy that will keep Nigeria first in everything we do, especially in the growth of our economy. So we give kudos to the President and his entire cabinet for this very laudable policy stretch that is coming up now.
Now, down to the petroleum sector now, which of course many would talk about capacity, local refining capacity. My question really would be, yes, are we meeting up 100%? If we are not, and this policy is instituted, what does it mean for energy security?
Well, we are on a journey where Nigeria is on a journey. Several months ago, we would dare say there was no refining capacity in Nigeria. Today, we have the biggest refinery in Africa established in Nigeria. There's a Dangote Refinery Limited. Very laudable project, and we're so proud that that refinery is putting Nigeria on the map. And we want to appreciate Alhaji Aliko Dangote directly to himself and his team. We also have other refineries coming up. The Nigerian, the NNPC refineries that have been coming up epileptically. We also have other refineries, smaller refineries, 25,000 barrels per day refinery coming up in Bayelsa from Azikel refinery. We have the Edo refinery working. We have the Niger Delta refinery. We have Walter Smith and the Bua refinery also coming up, and a few other licenses that have been issued to refinery owners that are working hard to come. So it's a journey, and this journey has only just begun. Like I said, a couple of months ago, this was not the situation. So now we are here. We got to look at how the situation that we have found ourselves is playing out to ensure that Nigeria's energy security is guaranteed, and then stand by to encourage all the players in the industry to do what will be able to help in growing Nigeria's economy.
And that is where I would follow up. We have a 46 million liter demand. I think if I'm correct, of petrol and of course other products on daily basis. Now, if we are not able to meet this with local refining capacity, then the disadvantages of this policy might come to spring in, which is potential shortages or price hikes. How do we face this moving forward?
Well, listening to the Honorable Minister of Information, it is clear that this policy is aimed first in ensuring that the ministries, departments, and agencies of the Federal Republic of Nigeria comply to the terms which the new executive order that we expect to come out soon will clearly define. He raised the hope that made in Nigeria will be the focus. It will make Nigeria bold. It will make Nigeria proud. It will make Nigeria grow. And that is something we are all very proud of the Senator Bola Ahmed-led government, that this policy is coming up at this time. And we certainly hope, that it will be implemented fully, wisely, and efficiently, and of course, I dare say also promptly. In my opinion, we need much more than 46 million barrels. We have diesel that we require for our energy. We have PMS, that's a petrol. We also have other energy needs like the LPFO, high power fuel and low power fuel, naphtha, and a few other byproducts of crude oil refining that is coming up. So these figures, as of today, we can only generally get those figures only from the NMDPRA to confirm what figures are what. As a business leader, our focus will be to encourage the government to do the best and ensure that our members who have sworn to the oath of service will ensure that Nigeria is given the best shot in anything we do, that Nigerians will be the beneficiaries at the end. We are Nigerians also, so of course we'll make our little profit and then we'll provide services that's going to grow the economy, which is more important, especially for most of us, that we need to have that joy that we have contributed to the growth and the stability of the economy of Nigeria.
Doctor, let me ask you this question directly. Now, is there any concerns for possible monopoly of the petroleum segment, that's in the petroleum segment of Nigeria's economy, with this policy?
Well, clearly, in every business environment, ideas will come up in the minds of, providers, service providers, whether they are refiners or they are storage facility owners or they are logistics companies or they are retail outlet owners. The tendency to want to do the most you can to have the highest market share is always there. Incidentally, in the case of Nigeria, our position is that everybody should just do their bit. The refiners should refine, the storage companies should store, the logistic companies should be able to make sure that the petroleum product delivery is efficient and is fast and there are no delays. And retail outlet owners like us, who span the nooks and crannies of the whole country, will do the best we can to ensure that petroleum product reaches to the least Nigerian. So as to whether there is a fear for monopoly, there will always be a concern. But no one has come out so far to say, hey, I want to monopolize the industry. It will only be speculative. And while we are looking at the speculative values, we'll also be doing as much as we can to discourage anyone that has such tendencies. Because everybody has to benefit from the business to make sure that Nigerians are the best for it.
All right, now let's move a step further. Let's look at the gains now. Let's highlight some of the gains of this new ban on importation of foreign goods and services.
The gains are numerous. The gains are numerous. First, we as Nigerians it's about time that we looked inwards into our economy by ourselves. We have everything that it takes to make our economy very robust. We have everything to make Nigeria one of the most successful and powerful countries in the world. And so this policy that His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic, has now rolled out is going to do a lot. First, it will ensure that the stress on our foreign exchange earnings that is being used to import even twin stick and little things like toys will now be a thing of the past. Because I believe that the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, the Nigeria Association of Chambers of Commerce Industry, the petroleum companies like Mayman, Dapman, PETROAN, the IPMAN, and all the other associations will all come together and ensure, that we collaboratively make sure that Nigeria has the best in terms of service provision, goods that we manufacture there. We have very, very energetic workforce that will do the best, that will ensure that our products are excellent, and we do not lack the number at all in terms of labor. So that's going to create employment. It's going to ensure that our forex pressure is reduced. It will also make us look inward to start doing those things that is needed, that made us to be world power in the 1960s, 1970s, when Nigeria used to loan money, even to pay salaries of some, world powers today, and even give loans, temporary loans to those countries. So Nigeria can get back to that because there is nothing that has changed with Nigeria. We still have the same mineral resources. We have even discovered more. And I think that this Nigeria First policy, once it is effectively implemented, it will make Nigeria to just jump out of the doldrum and become the true giant of the entire diasporan blacks, not just only Africa, across the world. So these are some of the few benefits that can just immediately come to hand. And of course, that once we start producing, because we're over 200 million people, we have the capacity to consume our own goods and ensure that our currency rises back again. The same propositions that were given in the 60s that made us to be able to run I remember in 1977 when we wanted to attend the universities in California, our school fees were paid from the post office at about 70-something kobo per dollar. And you didn't need to go to bank to start to do foreign exchange. You only needed to just buy money order and pay your school fees. Nigeria can get back to that point. And I think this is what this Nigeria First policy of the Asiwaju-led government is going to achieve. And we do encourage him, we applaud him, and we move a strong motion to support that Nigerians should all be behind the president to make sure that this policy is effectively implemented.
Now, I'm going to ask you specifics now, the likes of pharmaceutical products and petroleum products,
yes,
which you deal with. Now, the fear in some quarters is that if we cannot produce up to standards or meet up the numbers, you just mentioned Nigeria is above 200 million people. If we cannot meet up, then some believe that there could be shortages or price hikes. When that happens, or if that happens, what can we do? What is the way out? Some suggest phased implementation of this policy. How does that come to you?
Well, every policy that is rolled out has a roadmap. Has a roadmap to be for implementation. So there are critical products. Yes, pharmaceutical, petroleum. These are actually private sector driven. And if you had listened carefully to what the Honorable Minister of Information has said, he wasn't directing his conversation to the private sector. He was actually focused on how government should empower the local industries. And so I believe that any product that is so essential will be phased, in our opinion, because we do not know the content of what the executive order will be. But once that order comes out, in our opinion, it should be something that the president should be open to get advice and inputs from the whole country, from Nigerians. Those who have good intentions, those who have the best of beliefs for the growth of Nigeria should be able to make inputs as to what can be done. So in that case, it will not be what we can say just overnight that petroleum product is not going to be sourced, beyond the shores of Nigeria. And then we also cannot say that pharmaceuticals will not be. So we indeed do advise from our perspective that such very critical products, will be phased and they will eventually become what will make Nigeria great again.
I'm going to ask you this question because we go on the streets and we hear all of these informations that some even say in some quarters that landing cost at the moment of maybe PMS is almost cheaper than some local refineries are selling in country. I don't know how true that is.
Well, you know, there's a lot of inputs from different, parts. Even when organizations like PETROAN, intervenes, we easily get misquoted either by the devil's, the printer's devil, or some, inputs that certainly was not what PETROAN would have intended. But the reality is that regardless of what we do, as a country, we must be focused on changing the narrative and make Nigeria first. And this should go beyond everything. Our music, our culture, our food. For crying out loud, we cannot be importing egusi soup from some Asian countries. We cannot be importing gari from some Asian countries. And Nigerian businesses are looking at doing some of all those things, and this policy will completely wipe that out, because they are not essential. Petroleum products are essential. The prices, that we are talking about, we can always work out a method by which we negotiate to try to make sure that prices are comparatively beneficial to Nigerians. So I will want to not be emphatic about the landing price for any of the products that are being imported. But of course, we do know that we have to augment when local production is not adequate. And that, I think, will consistently be the process until we get to the point where about 83 refineries that are being licensed will be working in Nigeria to make Nigeria the export headquarters of refined product to the world. And that is why we call on every Nigerian to support the new NNPC government. The new NNPC leadership led by Engineer Gillis-Harry is a round peg that's in a round hole. And we do believe, that the president has chosen a leader that is equal to the task of ensuring, that the industry is sanitized and it is going to bring the answers that are required to do what we have to do. But we still encourage that everything that should be done in Nigeria should be done with a face of honesty, a face of hard work, with a face of desired result for the benefit of Nigerians. But we in PETROAN, our decision is to support the president in all the good policies that he brings. We will support the NNPC leadership. We will support Dangote Refinery. We will support even the Petroleum Ministry very effectively because they are doing a good job, and we are very happy to give our time and our little knowledge and our grassroots information to make sure that this country becomes a greater country. And that's where Dr. Gillis-Harry, PETROAN stands, both in my double capacity as Chairman, Board of Trustees of COSIMA, that's the South-South Chambers of Commerce, and President of the Petroleum Product Retail Outlet Owners Association, PETROAN.
Dr. Gillis-Harry, before I let you go, interesting conversation, I must say. Before I let you go, I asked you earlier about monopoly. While I would ask you that too, yes. What is the way forward to guarantee energy availability where there is no monopoly in this space?
Well, let me say what my team has been working on for quite some time. We have an option for everybody to work together so nobody sinks. We want the barracudas and the little sardines to work together in this ocean of the petroleum politics and pricing and business. So we all grow together and grow in such a way that we are very supportive of each other. For us in PETROAN, we have looked at some of the options that can work. There should be a collaborative effort by all players where we can, justifiably give Nigerians good service, affordable pricing, without necessarily tweaking the barometers. Because I recall before some of these refineries came to work, under the leadership of Miman and Dapman, we had very strong discussions on how to tackle subsidy removal before the day before the subsidy removal, the day of the subsidy removal, and the day after the subsidy removal. And I think that plan is still apt and very useful for today. So the best way to do it is everybody should be on the table. We must work out a process to make sure that there is local crude oil that is drilled strictly for local refining. So I would dare say that most of the refineries that are coming should be able to get at least one major oil field that should be able to support the refining of crude oil in their refinery. And I believe that the government can work things out in a way that they can give a soft landing into this policy. So we do not have a case where we are talking about crude oil is not available. And of course, PETROAN supports the Naira for crude policy in total, because we believe that that is one sure way of making sure that every refinery in Nigeria has crude oil feedstock to be able to do the business that will make Nigeria great. Because at the end of the day, PMS is such a very critical element in the growth of our economy. So I think that the issue of monopoly should not be what we should be worrying about now. We should be worrying about how to make sure that all the players are adequately served, and the small boys do their small boy work, and the big boys also do their big boy work for the growth of Nigeria, and support Mr. President to ensure that him and his team and the renewed hope agenda that has been drafted will become a team that will see the light of day and make Nigeria great again.
Dr. Gillis-Harry, President, Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, PETROAN, thank you so much for joining the program. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having us.
Well, still to come on the show, we'll be understanding the economic benefits, highlighting them one after the other of buying